Hello, BookTube. I'm running into a bit of a problem on this channel these last couple of days, and that problem stems from a dark confession. I have a dark confession to make. It's going to come as no surprise to any of you. And a couple of you, I think 2 people, maybe a maximum of 2 who watch this channel from time to time, have actually been present to witness that it's true. And that is, I love to write. I don't, as the old saying went, love having written. I actually love the process of writing. I love sitting down and pounding out my thoughts in prose. I absolutely love doing it. I love it. I don't agonize. I'm not a proper member of AuthorTube. I don't agonize. I don't sweat blood. When I am situated out on that couch in the other room and the window is open and the breezes are blowing in the smell of lilacs and fresh cut grass. Fresh cut glass. That's more the other kind of writer. No, fresh cut grass, and I can hear my sparrows homicidally squarreling with each other, and Frida is asleep on the top of the couch or dozing, chatting every once in a while, waking up just enough to lick my face and then drowsing off again. And it's, in other words, just a beautiful, formless spring day of a type we've had almost none here in Boston in 2019. When I'm in a situation like that and I am propped up on pillows on that couch and all the social media is turned off and the whole building is empty and the whole street is quiet and I've got lots of great work to do in front of me and my hands are bouncing on the keyboards and I'm having a blast, time tends to drift away. And as a result, I'm making these videos very late in the day. I mean, in Boston right now, at this latitude, the sun sets at 8 at night. That's no time to be making videos. And it also limits the number and kind of videos that I can make, because if I start making them at 8, then I'm staring down the barrel of the work that I have to get done that night before at midnight. Those of you who are new to the channel might not know this. At midnight, I turn into a pumpkin. At midnight every night, I turn into a pumpkin. I turn off everything and concentrate on reading. I just read. And that is inviolate. I try never to change that. So I get all the rest of the stuff, the boring deadline work, the stuff that I didn't do out on that couch today, all has to be done before then, as well as business-related emails, all sorts of other emails. That's all got to be done by midnight. So starting videos at 8, I had the whole day. I could easily have made a video earlier, and I didn't. So I'm going to have to figure out some new system, some new ironclad reminder to myself, something where I'm lounging around with Frida, or I'm reading or more reading, or yet more reading, and then I say, okay, but at noon, you're going to stop what you're doing, just like you do at midnight. At noon, you're going to stop what you're doing and make a video, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. You're going to make a batch of videos for the day and talk to your lame-ass BookTube friends. Maybe I should just do that. Make a set time of noon, or 1 or 2 or something or other, a set time, and just do it then, so that I'm not just forgetting about it until the end of the day. That's bad enough. It's bad enough that I often forget to upload, even when I do make a video earlier in the day. But I'm hoping for a smidgen of sympathy on your part, because it's just so wonderful. It's just so wonderful to be propped up on pillows and sprawled out on that couch, writing and chuckling to myself and just anyway, that's a long and a short way of saying that I'll only do one video today, because I have left myself with very little time, and it's a mail haul. I wanted to do at least the first mail haul of the week, so that's what we'll do now. It's one of these mail tub things that was dropped off. I didn't catch. Whoever dropped it off, I didn't catch them, and I didn't ring the bells. They didn't give me a chance to catch them. I'm slowly accumulating another collection of these things, which I don't want. And it's, I think if I looked at it, yeah, it's, okay, no, I was going to say it's all cardboard, but it's not. It's almost all cardboard. It's all cardboard, and 2 boxes, except for 1 manila envelope. So we'll do that. We'll do that one first. Let's see what we have here. Oh, okay. All right. Did I accident? No. Okay. This is a little. It's a little odd. I believe this is a June release. It doesn't appear to have a sell sheet in it, and this appears to still be an advanced reader's copy. But I already have an advanced reader's copy. That's odd. That is odd. Okay. Don't really know what's going on here. I was kind of expecting a finished copy of this at around this time, but I have let it wait. It's a June book, and I've been swamped with May books, so I've let it wait. This is by Helen Cullen. I think we saw it on this channel before. This is The Lost Letters of William Wolfe. And it is a lovely thing. It's got the French flaps and the decal edges. I'm sure the finished copy will be just the same, only without that, that circle that says Advanced Reader's Copy. But this is a debut novel, and it's largely about the allure of snail mail. So of course it's got my heart in the right lane, because I wrote snail mail correspondence forever. Most of you, I would imagine, are too young to remember what that was like, and I don't know that a present day novel can really convey it, especially since I'd be willing to bet the author is too young to remember what it was like. Actually, let's see. Yes, the author is too young to remember what it was like. The author was. This is her debut novel, and she wrote it while completing the Guardian UEA novel writing program. She holds an MA in Theatre Studies from the University College Dublin and is currently studying further. Prior to writing full-time, Helen worked in journalism and broadcasting, and most recently as a creative events and engagement specialist. She is Irish and currently lives in London. But I did snail mail forever, and those of you who are too young to remember it, I don't know if she is or not, but I have a feeling that not more than 2 pages of the book will tell me one way or another. But if you don't remember it, you just don't have any idea, unless maybe you're well steeped in novels that reflect it. Some novels reflect it wonderfully, but the intricacies of it, the weighting, the mental calculation of how long the letter takes to get to its recipient, when they'll get it, how long they'll have it, how long that you estimate they have it before you start to estimate that you are right to wonder why they're not writing back, when you estimate you will get your response, and how long it will be, and whether or not it will cover all the points that you want it to, and all the extras. I used to go whole hog. I wrote huge snail mail letters, long, rambling things, the type of thing that the recipient would have to would be able to, if they wanted to, not have to. They'd be able to sit and just live with it for a while. And I also illustrated my letters, and I would often illustrate the envelopes as well. I loved it, absolutely loved it. So this is right up my alley, and this is okay. This is about the Dead Letter Depot, where letter detectives work at solving mysteries. Missing zip codes, illegible handwriting, rain-smudged ink, lost address labels, torn packages, forgotten street names. These are the twists of fate but when letters arrive addressed simply to my great love, one longtime letter detective will face his greatest mystery yet and embark on a life-changing journey of hope, courage, and change. Because one of the group of people who are tasked with finding out about these letters that don't appear to have enough information, one of them is, a Beethoven-style immortal beloved mystery that the main character latches onto. All of that sounds great. I just haven't got to it yet, and I'm not sure why I'm getting this, although it is lovely. Anyway, that is our beginning. That was our manila envelope. Now we'll do all cardboard here, concluding with a couple of boxes. Okay, all right. This one's from Oxford University Press. Comes out in November. So I have a very long time. I requested this, but I won't touch it at all for the summer. I'll just lay it down to mature. This is by Michael Kearns and Aaron Roth, and it's called The Ethical Algorithm. The Ethical Algorithm. The subtitle is The Science of Socially Aware Algorithm Design. Just watched a lecture this morning in which the author talks about something along these same lines about ethical algorithms versus unethical algorithms. He's very good. If I remember, I'll leave a link to it down below. I really enjoyed it. It got better as it went along. Let's see here. Algorithms have come to dominate today's modern life. From advertisements and consumer lending to college admissions and hiring, our day-to-day is increasingly moderated by this technology. At the same time, complex algorithms are also routinely violating the basic rights of individuals, raising pressing questions of privacy, fairness, and transparency. Clearly, we have entered a brave new world. In this book, the authors offer a set of principled solutions based on the emerging and exciting science of socially aware algorithm design. While most of the discussion to date has focused on traditional methods like laws, regulations, and watchdog groups, these approaches have proven woefully inadequate on their own. Kearns and Roth instead propose fixing the technology from the inside by building better algorithms that have precise definitions of fairness, accuracy, transparency, and ethics embedded within their design. So that you write them that way, and therefore you don't have to worry quite so much. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that is intriguing. That is why I requested it. I am still not going to... I'm not going to review it until the summer is well and truly... not review. I'm not going to read it until the summer is well and truly over. I'm glad to have it. But reading it in September when it's due in November is plenty of advance time. So I'm gonna lay it down to rest. So let's see here. Let's move on. What is this next one? This one's considerably heavier. Could be a finished copy of something to pad out my June pile. Oh no, it's a paperback. Whatever it is. Oh. Okay. All right, this is a new edition of something that came out originally in 2003. Okay. I wonder if I reviewed it. This is by Stephen Roger Fisher, and it is right up all of our alleys. This is A History of Reading. And a really nice, this is Reaction Books. This is a really nice little paperback. It's not quite a mass market, but it's also not quite a trade paperback either. It's a different size. I like it very much. And it's illustrated, and it's a history of reading. It's exactly, let's see what we have here. What do we have here? This comes out in mid-June, tracing the complete story of reading from the age when symbol first became sign through to the electronic text of the present day. This book offers a sweeping view across time and geography of our evolving relationship with text. The author moves from ancient forms of reading in Asia and the Americas all the way to the emergence of broadsheets, newspapers, and public readings, finally assessing a future in which read communication will likely exceed oral communication through the use of the personal computer and the internet. Okay. Well, this is the sell sheet here says that this is a new edition. It doesn't mention what is new about this edition. It could just be... a new edition should not be something that a publisher says if what they mean is reprint. So maybe there's something new in here, I would hope. I would hope that there is, otherwise that's false advertising. But I am wondering now... okay, there's a new preface, but I'm wondering if I've already reviewed this. It's ringing a bell. I'll have to check and see. I might have reviewed it for the National 10 years ago, back when it first came out. So, all right. Okay. Well, it has a new preface. Boy, that is okay. It was originally published in 2003. It was reprinted in 2005, and this is a new edition with a new preface in 2019. Does that mean? Does that mean that the only thing new about this book is the preface? A history of reading that's almost 20 years old. That how could? There's a lot. Well, we'll see. I will read it this week and find out. So first, I'll start to read it and see if it rings a bell. See if I've read it before, and also see how on earth the author is going to manage to do that. How do you cover almost 20 years of changing technology in a preface, in a new preface? I don't know that it can be done. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, this next one is not really a surprise. It's from Book Depository. I mentioned the other day that I got a weird stray commission check. Just came in out of nowhere, and it wasn't enough money to do anything with. I mean, anything serious with. It was under $100, so I decided to to get some books on Book Depository, because I see lots of editions there, lots of stuff that actually does fill lacunae in my collection, and that I want, and that I would, why bother to wait and see if happenstance will bring it my way when it's right there. And plus, there's a community aspect too, because Book Depository is a favorite place for people on BookTube to get books. I understand why. The shipping is free, and the editions are appealingly copyright. They're from multiple different countries and languages, and I, every time I go to Book Depository and see stuff and allow myself to browse around on there, I remember that not everybody in the world has access to not only publishers sending them mail tubs full of books every day, but also great used bookstores like the Brattle, great retail bookstores. I have access here in Boston to both anytime I want. So if you live in rural New Zealand or wherever, and you don't, there are plenty of people here in the American West and Midwest who are an hour or 2 hours or even 3 hours away from the nearest bookstore. And even then, the selection will be terrible. You all know what retail bookstore selections are like now. They're a shadow of what they once were. And lots and lots of people who email me have no access whatsoever to a used bookstore. Or if they have one, it's terrible. So I like looking at Book Depository, and I routinely find things that I end up genuinely wanting. Last time that I was on there, I ordered 3 books. This is the third and final one, but it has been so long. Of course, because the downside of the free shipping is that they put it on a slow boat, so it can be forever until you get the book. So I have forgotten what I ordered, and I haven't looked at my order history. I have received 2 of the 3. The first one was Sapiens. I think I have it here still, don't I? Yes, by Yuval Noah Harari, which I got and reread, mainly because I was curious about the huge vogue that it has among so many people, so many different kinds of people, from celebrities to young teenage boys who don't have any other books aside from Jordan Peterson. They don't have any other books, and they have this one, and they know it. They've read it with eagerness, and it's a long history of human paleobiology. You wouldn't think that it would be. I read it when I first came across it. When it first came out, I read it and I thought it was benign but unremarkable. And I read it again because it's been bothering me this whole time because I know the currency that it has. So I ordered a copy on Book Depository and thought, when it gets here, pretend that it's brand new and just read it again. And I did, and I really liked it. I liked it a lot more than I did the first time. I see now the magic that it has. It definitely does have that, and it has it in a way that the author's other books have not managed to recapture. I see now where that magic comes from. The author is direct and assertive everywhere. Even on points that he cannot possibly be assertive about, he nevertheless is. He sees the information, summarizes it, and then makes a call. And that is very attractive in a way. And the first time that I read it, the prose kind of bugged me, and this time it did not. So that was a very good purchase. And the other thing I got was a beautiful paperback edition of Death in Venice by Thomas Mann and a few other stories. And I confess, with that one, it was a cover buy. It was the BookTube term as a cover buy. But also I realized when I did it that I don't have any other Thomas Mann. And that was another reason why I got it. I don't think I would have got it just as a cover buy. It was also that it was again filling a lacuna. I didn't have any other. And I confess, with that one, I looked at it, I pawed all over it, and then I put it on the shelf. I didn't read it right away. I put it on the shelf. Its time will come, and it's good to have it. But the Sapiens I dove into right away, and those were 2 out of the 3. I don't remember what this third one is. So it's thick, whatever it is. Oh yes, okay. Oh, fantastic. All right. Great. Where did I see this? I saw this on a BookTube channel. Was it Camel? What Camel Reads? Where did I see this? Oh, I hope you're watching, whoever you were, so you can tell me. I saw this. It's a pan paperback of a book that I know backwards and forwards. I know it inside and out. I love it. I absolutely love it. It has bothered me for a long time that I don't have the edition that I want. I've always wanted a really good edition. The hardcover is too big. It's a big book. The mass market paperback it's too big, so the print is too small. And the American publisher came out with a lovely trade paperback, a lovely one with a Remington painting on the cover, just fantastic. But they decided to number the spine. The book has gone on to become part of a series, and they put numbers on the spine. And I didn't want that staring at me when I didn't have any of the other numbers and don't want them. So I've been sort of kind of waiting for this to either be a modern library or an Everyman Classic or a Penguin Classic. And then I saw it on somebody's channel. Someone out there has to tell me where I saw this. I watched so many BookTube channels, I'll never figure it out on my own. Somebody held this up. Larry McMurtry's Lonesome Dove in this pan mass market, or this pan trade paperback, which is, it's big and fat. It's perfect in the hand, nice and durable. This is the format that I've been looking for. To read this and reread it. God, I love this book so much. I tell you, I do read-alongs on this channel. I do a read-along every Sunday. And the one rule that I have been sticking to with read-alongs, they're not hard and fast rules, but the one thing that I've been sticking to is to stick to books that are in the common domain, because a lot of you like those read-alongs, and I don't want to put you to any trouble. I don't want to put you to any expense by picking a book that you would have to go out and buy, that you would have to go out and find. And I haven't minded, of course, because the sheer infinite variety of great books that are free in the public domain is staggering. So we have plenty to choose from, but if that weren't a rule, I would go with this so fast. This and a handful of other things, but what I wouldn't give to do a read-along with all of you with this book, I would love that. It is incredible. Just incredible. It's the epic story of two retired Texas Rangers who decide to strike for gold late in life. They're worried that they're just going to stay in a rut in this tiny, dusty Texas town of Lonesome Dove forever. So they decide to rustle up a herd of cattle and take them in a great trek up north, where they've been told there's vast grazing lands and that a person can make their fortune. And the book is the epic story of that journey and all the stuff that happens along the way. And it's so good. It is so good. And here it is. Wow. Okay, great. Here it is. Okay, so this is a pan trade paperback of Lonesome Dove. That's going to go, I was just about to say that's going to go right on the shelf, and it bloody well should. If I even dip a toe into this, I'm going to start rereading it. And I simply can't do that. I simply can't do that. I have too much reading and writing to do of May books to take a 1,000-page detour. I cannot do that. Oh boy, fantastic. Okay, great. And then the last thing we have is a box. It's a box, but it's fairly light. So it could be a small thing that somebody just decided to pack into a box. Let's see what we have here. It's gonna be downhill from Lonesome Dove. Oh yeah, okay. It's just one book. It could easily have gone in an envelope. It's also from the University of Chicago Press. It's due in mid-June, and it is The Madness of Knowledge on Wisdom, Ignorance, and Fantasies of Knowing by Stephen Connor. The book in your hands is a profound and expansive meditation on a subject very dear to its author, an expert and eloquent investigator of everything that from flies to human skin, philosophy in sports, and nonverbal but vocal communication. Stephen Connor knows no bounds in his curiosity, rather in his all-encompassing, potentially maddening quest to know and to understand. And with the madness of knowledge, Connor's curiosity goes meta, turning in on itself in an exploration of charlatanry and pretension, magical thinking, and quizzes. Okay. In an age of artificial intelligence, I'm thinking there's a lot of artificial intelligence involved in this book. Our alternative facts and mistrust of truth, this book offers an opulent, enlarging, and sometimes unnerving psychopathology of intellectual life. Okay. I knew there was going to be a slight drop-off from Lonesome Dove. I did not expect the bends. But who is Stephen Connor when he's at home? I know what his answer to that question would be. Christ come back to earth. But maybe if we want to go on what's written in his CV, just as an alternative, he is a Grace Professor of English and Director of the Center for Research in Arts, Social Sciences, and Humanities at the University of Cambridge. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, okay. Well, it's due in mid-June. This is the finished copy, so I will certainly get to it. I will certainly put it on the docket for this week. I had an old friend once, a dear old friend, who used to say, you know that old phrase, jack of all trades, master of none? And I would say, yeah. And he would say, well, that's perfectly true, except for the first half. Okay, well, we shall see. Is the author? Or we don't know how old the author is. It seems to me, just on basis of that description, that in this book the author makes a humble bragging fetishization out of his own curiosity, and maybe out of his own inability to pay attention. So this could be a maddening book, but it could also be, what was that word? Enlarging? I'm not sure I want to be enlarged by a book, but that's okay. So that was our mail haul, and it was all over the map. So we have The Madness of Knowledge. We have Lonesome Dove by Larry McMurtry, a huge temptation to me, not only to reread when I have lots of other stuff to do, but also to break that rule and start doing the Lonesome Dove, The Once and Future King, Lord of the Rings, the Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, a whole bunch of books, a whole bunch of them that aren't in the public domain. You would have to go out and find a copy. I don't know. Is that overprotective on my part, or do you appreciate that? I mean, does it matter to you? Imagine the possibilities it would open up for us if, well, I don't know. Anyway, so we have Lonesome Dove. Then we have The Ethical Algorithm. Where just, if you're worried about these things being, HAL from 2001, then build them so they can't be. Put Asimov's 3 Rules of Robotics in there, and boom, you're good as gold. Then The Lost Letters of William Wolfe, and A History of Reading by Stephen Roger Fisher. Another squat, neat little paperback, just like Lonesome Dove. And that is it. That is our mail haul today, grossly delayed because I was having a wonderful time. I was having a wonderful day. And again, I would like a smidgen of sympathy. Picture your own day. Or let me picture mine. Picture the days that I used to have endlessly. The days that I used to have in endless number where, 8 o'clock in the morning rolled around and it was time to shower and eat and dress and say goodbye to my dogs and go off to a job and stay there. Whether there was enough work or not, whether the work was interesting or not, whether I wanted to be there or not, stay there until in the fall and winter months until well after dark, knowing that my dogs were back just sitting around, nothing to do, knowing that all that reading time was going to waste while I stood around doing nothing or doing precious little, knowing that all that writing time was going to waste. And then you get back and the sheer enervation of those 9 hours has left you with a need to recover. So it's not like you get back and jump right into the stuff you wanted to do all that time. No, you have to have some downtime first. And then today was not that. Today was the exact opposite of that. Today was me doing what I do now every day, which is anyway, I need to figure out how to do this because I can't be uploading videos at 11:55 at night. So I will figure it out. and we will fix this. But in the meantime, I'm going to wrap this up. But I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.